Hello and welcome to Ami Daikonia. My name is Mandy Modi and we shall continue on our last topic, acquiring and sustaining a job. It was amazing and interesting reviewing your questions, and I hope that the answers I provided were helpful enough. Having submitted your application, the next thing is to prepare for your interview. Now we're going to, discuss the things you needed to do or how would you prepare for an interview. One, you need to research the organization. It is known that you've done that while submitting your application, but this is the time to delve in more deeper, know what they do, who are their clients, are they on social media, who will be your panelists, how will your skills and competencies align with the organization values. These things you need to know before you go for your interview. Secondly, prep for possible questions. Looking at the job description and the skills required, that has already given you a steer on the kind of questions that could be asked. Do a demo, identify a number of questions looking at the job description, and agree or drop down what your answers could be. Now, list the possible questions and make notes of what your answers will be. But don't worry about fitting into an exact box. Sort out extra support. There are instances you need additional information from the organization. Make sure you do that before your interview date. Asking for such things on your interview date will make you look like asking for an expo. Avoid that. Plan your route. It is very critical you know where your interview is taking place, how many kilometers it is from your base, and then alternative routes to that location. This is important so you could avoid any unforeseen circumstances. If route A is blocked, you have an alternative. Also, figure out what to wear. The last thing you need is a frantic morning on your interview day. Figuring out what to wear will help you focus on more important things on your interview. Now, today is your interview date. How do you respond to these interview questions? For the purpose of this episode, we'll only discuss two questions. I would like to hear your comments, your opinions on how to respond to these questions. The whole idea is so we could explore what recruiters are actually looking out for when they ask certain questions. One of the foremost questions that comes first in every interview is tell us about yourself. Actually, this is not a question. It's tricky. It's an unstructured question. But this is going to be your intro. It is the opportunity you have to advertise yourself, to convince the panelists that you have what it takes to secure the role you are sitting for. It is not a place for you to tell us about your background, to tell us that you're married, to tell us that you're single or you have children. Remember those things we mentioned that could be a disadvantage to you. Avoid saying those things. Do not also repeat what you have in your cover letter because the panelists already had them. They have reviewed them. And so avoid repeating those things word for word. Instead, focus on your skills, your competencies, your achievements. Let the panelists know how relevant what you're bringing on board and how important the value you have is to their organization. Do not be overconfident, lest you will be perceived as being rude, but be confident enough to convince the panelists that you have what it takes to land the job. Question 2. Another tricky one. What are your salary expectations? I'm sure a number of us have come across this question. It is tricky because you could shoot yourself in the leg by giving a figure that they could not afford for that role, thereby telling them, I'm the wrong candidate. Or you underestimate yourself by bringing a value that is far below. So you have to be diplomatic in responding to this question. Do not give a figure unless the panelists insisted. However, the easy way to go around this is to tell the panelists your last pay. You know your what, you know your value. haven't presented it in a way that will be appealing. And then you have yourself that joy. Let me know what you think about these questions and how best to respond to them. Or if this episode is helpful to you, please let's interact in the comment section. In the next video, we'll dive into more questions and how to respond to them. Until then, like, share, comment, and click on the notification bell on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter, and YouTube. We are Ami Daikonia. Peace out.